We made it, guys. We officially made it. We got Dwayne his car. It didn't want to start. I thought I was gonna have to drive it all the way back to freaking Utah, but turns out I'm not.
It's on empty, so that may be why.
Oh, well, also like going up and down in the elevation, it could have created like a vacuum inside the tank, especially with there being no fuel in it. Dwayne's got his car. I'll talk to him for a second. I'll be back, guys. Unfortunately, he well, I understand it's not registered or anything yet, and he didn't want to go out and drive it and get in trouble, which I get, you know what I mean? I can respect people that follow the laws. So we're gonna go hang out with our friends that we stay with when we live down in Arizona for the winter. My buddy Greg and Amy and Riker, and they said they're gonna feed me dinner, and who am I to argue with a free dinner? Free dinner? Sounds good to me. So I'm gonna just chill for the rest of the night, go find a place to stay, going back towards the direction of home, and then I'll talk to you guys. We made it to Voodoo, guys. Finally. Check this out. Got some cool looking cages on there already. This is Mike. Mike is, he runs the show, and there's like 600 people here, and I was gonna like do a lot to show you guys everything here, but they're busy. Anyway, this is our new cage right here. I told them that I'm gonna put a windshield in it because I can get it done a little bit cheaper with through my guy. So that's what she looks like raw, guys. And then this cage over here is going to a subscriber slash customer slash friend. And this thing turned out nasty. I like the color on that, guys. Heck yeah. So we're gonna load these things up, and I'm gonna take you guys for a quick run around the shop really quick and just show you guys what they do here. And then, yeah, we'll be on our way. Oh no, don't do that. I don't want you to lose your knees, man. Look at this.
You got any rags or anything, Jonathan?
Yeah, I've got some foam in there.
Perfect.
Nice. Heck yeah. I gotta figure out how to strap this up. What do you do here?
So I am more on the custom side, but I am like learning to do the production side and everything too. So
nice. Are you a welder?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
where'd you come from? What's your background?
I'm actually from Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
isn't there corn out there? What the heck is
there's
in Iowa?
There's a lot of corn, a lot of soybeans, and so.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm never going to Iowa. I have nothing to see out there.
I get it.
No. So where does it start? You get an order, right?
So yeah, for production, like any of these standard cages would be over on that side where those guys are. So when we start, it comes in, we just get our normal pipe and just throw it in the Dragon. So that cuts it, and we just load in whatever cage on the computer. And
on the computer?
Yeah. So that we make all our cages in house,
Right. Does the computer like actually bend the pipe for you, or bend the tubing and everything?
No, it just cuts it. So
okay, I got you.
Yeah. So you can see like on some of these, like there's some Sharpie marks and stuff. Those are more of a reference. They're not like an actual like perfect for everything.
Right.
It's more like just getting you a layout to when you go to assemble it, but they'll mark out like bin locations and stuff too, so you can see like right here, see how it says, has a crosshatch there, and then it says 2, and then it's upside down, but
right.
So that would be bin 2, because you got your front bin, you got one there, you got another one, and then you got your 4th bin in the back there.
Gotcha.
So it'll cut it out, it'll mark all that for you, and then we'll throw it in the tube bender over here, and So,
right there.
Yeah, we'll go. We'll put in our bend degree, and it'll bend it, and we'll do it in a certain order so that way it's consistent. And
Is this a mandrel bender or is this just a regular bender? What's the difference between the benders?
So, this would there's like CNC benders, and those are like a lot more expensive. I know like there's some that can like cut and bend at the same time and like get stuff like pretty perfect.
Right.
But that's like high dollar stuff, you know, like it's very expensive. But this one, yeah, you basically you just set your tension in here, and that clamps it like a certain amount. You want that to be consistent for everything.
Right.
So like there's like a reference number in the back, and then this you can enter in, you know, so right now it's set for a 50-degree bend, and then you put it in there, and so this would be specifically for 1 3/4.
Gotcha.
With this set of dies and everything.
Yeah, so you can change these dies out depending on the size of the piping or the tubing, whatever you call it.
Yep.
Cool.
And
works like an exhaust bender then.
Right. Yeah, and that's another one we got. So that one's just set up right now for 1.5 inches.
Nice.
So all your like intrusions and your front dash bar, like that stuff for what we use on that one.
Nice.
So yeah, then this will roll it. So that adds the roll kind of on the whole top here.
So how it has the curve.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And so yeah, we throw that in here, and it just this goes down and adds that curvature to it.
Nice. Now, are you using a jig when y'all weld your stuff up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can kind of see they're actually old chassis of old cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, guys, just so you know, some of the cage builders, they use a jig. Like, basically, it's a thing they build based off of the frame. But here, they're using the actual frame of an old car. And they build the cage based on the old frame of the actual vehicle. So anyhow, that's all they do. Bam. So it's going to be as close as it can. I'll tell you this, guys. Not all the frames are exactly the same. So no matter what freaking cage you put on your car, I don't care what brand it is, it's got to suck sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's like some are better than others, but yeah, it's quite a bit. And there's a lot of flex too in the whole chassis.
Right.
So like when we go to put it on, like sometimes there's like 2 inches.
Yeah.
So you gotta jack the whole motor up, put it in right. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but
trust me, I know. I put on many occasions in my shop, man.
But yeah, so we just kind of shoot for the middle of like whatever the tolerance that the factory is, you know.
Right.
Yeah, so that's figuring and time, but yeah, we do have like kind of a certain things that we have to look for when we're putting it together and just making sure it's consistent and right, you know. So yeah, and there's just a ton of different models and types and things, you know. So there's a bunch of configurations that a lot of steps and processes to do. So remember, so
nice.
Yeah, but yeah, after they're so like right now because we got to get this order done today. So he's jigging, he's welding, and just trying to make it efficient right now. And then he's doing roofs. So we cut it on. We got a plywood table over there. So we've got all our programs to kind of get it pretty close, so he'll do some trimming depending on how perfectly square it is.
Nice.
And then he'll roll these edges.
Yeah, guys, in case you're wondering what he was doing, he was sitting there hitting it with a hammer, and it rolls the edges onto the shape of the cage, which is, circular.
Right. Yeah, that's usually more kind of on the, the harsher bends here, but that's the, Gavin, what's that called? I forget what it's called. Rolling machine. Yeah,
rolling machine. Okay.
Yeah, that actually puts this nice edge along this whole outside, and he does that with hands. So he's literally just holding this whole entire sheet
And just
guiding
rolling it through. Oh.
Yeah, and trying to make that as consistent as possible.
So you fine tune it with the hammer then, right? But you roll the major edge with a rolling machine, and then you fine tune kind of the edges with a hammer.
The front will get brakes. So since this has a little bit of a curve back here, we can't break it through a press brake.
Right, makes sense. It looks good, man.
Yeah, then we put those roof tabs on, so he'll like I've been welding those on, and then he'll come back over here, get this nice and where it's supposed to be, and then he'll come through, draw these holes out, and then he can put the springs on, and then he'll dimple it, and then he'll put the V in. So he does that with that thing too.
Yeah, how are you doing the V's? I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Voodoo's got a signature thing, guys, where you can tell it's their cage, or at least their roofs, which, yeah, the roof's probably their cage, where they indent that. So, like, how does that work?
So he basically just finds center. So he just makes center lines and puts that template on.
Okay.
And puts a Sharpie outline on it, and then just hand rolls it with that.
Ah.
So yeah, he just follows his line, and then usually have two people kind of help work together to hold it and make sure it's straight.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not like a stamped thing or anything. It's just.
I always thought it was stamped. So y'all are doing it by a template and by hand.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive, man. That's really cool. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it, buddy.
This is the man behind all the chaos. If you're ever trying to get a cage, tell me how fast. This is Mike, by the way, guys. How fast can you usually get a cage out? If I were to put an order in for my customers like today, how fast can you usually turn around?
Right now, with or without powder coat?
Without powder, because I understand it's a different process.
Right now, about 2 weeks.
And with powder?
Depending on the powder choice, you do some illusions or something fancy, might require a little bit more time. Let's just say for round numbers, probably 3 to 4 weeks.
Nice. Okay. So, if you want a cage, I've already talked to the other guy. Mike is super busy. He's been dealing with like 75 customers, and I didn't want to bother him too much. He's an awesome guy. He's coordinated everything else for us. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Well, that was cool, man. I was gonna do this full-on tour, but I figured I'd get Steve in there to just kind of show you guys the process. They all make them the same way, guys. I mean, I'm not saying that one doesn't weld better than the other, but they're all made, from jigs or sitting on frames and stuff like that. And I just love Lane. Lane is actually the owner. He wasn't there. I talk to Lane all the time on the phone, and he's a really good dude. Mike is basically Lane's right hand. I mean, he handles like all of the nitty gritty stuff. He's essentially like, I don't know, what's the word I'm gonna go for? Mike is basically, he is the hands-on guy. You know what I mean? He makes sure that orders are ready, orders are going out. And Lane at this point is just out there selling his product and pitching it to people. It's really cool. I went into that warehouse 5.5 years ago, and I got my very first cage from Voodoo. My very first one was from Voodoo, and it was from Lane. It was from one of his old cars, and I was like, I didn't have a lot of money at the time, and which I never do, but he gave me a good deal on it, and I ended up getting a relationship with Vern with RSK, which, don't get me wrong, like, they make a great product. They're just too far away now, and shipping costs are too expensive for me to rationalize spending with them. And Vern no longer necessarily, he doesn't work at RSK. He's not necessarily their welder anymore. He's not their welder anymore. So, not that RSK didn't have other great welders, they did, but and I have nothing negative to say about their product. It's a great product, and I know that Vern went out there to teach those guys how to make the product the right way, and the standard, because he did have a high standard when it came to the cages, and hopefully the same line of quality does come out of them. Now, if you are in Oregon and you do want an RSK cage, I am still a dealer for them, so I can get you one, and you won't even have to pay shipping costs, because you can just go and pick it up from RSK. So don't if you do want that style still. So basically what's going on, from my understanding, is Vern is still designing all of their stuff, so it still has Vern's look, his touch. It's just not in the old shop with the old employees. It's new employees, and to my understanding, they're all great welders that were hired on and fabricators. So, you know, anyways, but if you do want a Voodoo cage and you live in Utah, or you want me to get it shipped to you, I can ship you either one, let me know. And you're gonna see my car rocking the Voodoo cage. And yeah, so I'm sorry I'm rambling, guys. I'm really excited, man. I really am. There's just, you can tell that the level of quality is very well looked after when they build these cages, that everything was being measured twice. And you know, I'm not a fabricator. I'm a pretty good mechanic, I think I am, but I'm definitely not a fabricator, guys. I have ideas all the time, but if I were to try to create it, it would look like one of those little triangle trucks that you buy. Basically, that's how, if I were to be a fabricator, my cars would come out looking like a Cybertruck, because that's about where my talent would end. I'm great at making cars look pretty. I'm just not good at, you know, doing the hands-on fabricating of metal and bending and all that stuff. Anyways, it's time to go home, guys. This has been a long round trip. I need to get home to my kiddo. Hi. Hey.
It's Dada.
What you got there? Say steak. Yeah, nice New York
like
strip.
steak, Miles?
Huh. As you can tell, I made it home, guys. I'm very beat, I'm very exhausted, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching this video. I got some catching up with the family to do, and we got steaks and ice cream. We got steaks, ice cream, mac and cheese. We're about to have a feast tonight. Shrimp. We're gonna have shrimp and steak. Aspergas, which is asparagus. Yeah. So, thank you guys so much for watching my little road trip to go get some stuff for Lucille. Say goodbye. Bye-bye.
Do you want to bite?